2 cups in, and already we have managed to work our way up to reaching 11 grand, which means we technically have enough money for us to buy a level 2 car. And as ever, we're heading over to the Derby car shop because, well, that's pretty much where we started. So the cars we can choose from include the Shaker, the Blaster, and the Banger. And I think for this, what I am going to do, let's use... Yeah, you know what? Let's use the Banger. We've used a 4-wheel drive, let's now use a rear-wheel drive. Why not? I figure this is probably the stage of the game where we are going to need to start considering upgrades, since we are now 2 events in and we've just finished level 1. So let's see what upgrades we can afford. Here, you can upgrade your current car by purchasing from the selection. When parts have different upgrade levels, you can directly purchase the best available if you have the money. So let's have a look. I could probably purchase a few of these. And I think because I'm wanting something cheap to start with, yeah, let's go with the port and polish, just to open this up. And we'll go with, yeah, let's improve the suspension. And we'll put on the modified suspension, and we'll also put on the modified steering as well. And I think aside from that, how much is the body? Well, I do notice a drop in acceleration with 2 of these, but the other 2? With 2 of these, but the other one? It improves the strength. So you know what? Yeah, we'll fit the roll cage. And I think the only other thing we'll do... Let's fit... Yeah, we'll put on the brakes. And the only thing that's really left is... Let's see. So, 700 for the clutch and flywheel. Okay, I'll put on the modified exhaust, and just so it looks like I have 1 part from each of our part selections, we'll go with, yeah, we'll put on the gearbox. And that now means we officially have 1 part from each department of the upgrade shop on the Banger. Hopefully that will be all the spending I need to do. But anyway, let's head on to level 2 of the Derby class, as we begin with the Bay Area Derby Cup, another 3-race championship as we begin at Pine Grove 2. Evening race near the BMX stunt track. The track winds through narrow paths amongst the cliffs. Banked roads and tight turns require extra precision. Let's go. And we got something to do with Nitro Big Air. Don't know what that is, but I'm eager to try it. Alright, here we go. And we've got more RPMs in this thing than we had in the truck, because this thing now revs up to less than 7,000 RPM. I really need more upgrades on this thing. This thing is just way too punchy right now. Well, at least we unlock another derby. Right, okay. I clearly need more upgrades on this thing before doing anything else. So I'm going to put on the anti-roll bar, because I think this will help. And what I will also do is put on the other two body upgrades, to see if this will give my car a little more handling. Or I could just upgrade the tyres, that also works. Yes, I may need those tyres. Okay. And now I think I'm going to put on all the body upgrades whilst I'm here, just to try and see if that'll keep this thing under control. Because I honestly just got tired of the amount of times the thing wanted to kill me. And it was because of that I just chose to accept the L and try again. So that's what I'm doing. Plus my first attempt was pretty terrible anyway, as we start at Pine Grove 2. Already read the description. Okay, let's see if these upgrades make us less terrible and we actually try to win this time. Especially since I have been recording this now for 39 minutes. And I still have not achieved results yet. Hopefully this time at least I have got enough upgrades on my car to actually keep the machine where it's supposed to be. And I immediately get slammed into by Frank. There was nothing I could do about that. Absolutely nothing at all was what I could do about that. I could just do absolutely fuck all about that incident. Also, Sally's actually running inside the top 3. You don't see that very often. At least that was before I slammed into her, as I would have expected myself to do. Okay, well, the car's actually managing to keep itself under control now. I'm not feeling like I'm being punched by a kangaroo anymore. And an angry kangaroo at that, as I was before. And someone has ignited one of the fuel pumps. Or fuel tanks, I should say. I don't know if it's just me, or if Sophia looks like she seemingly has the superior car. But at this point, I really don't like the way that I think this is gonna go. I feel like I know something and I don't like what it is I know. At least I can say this car has got more control since I installed the anti-roll bar. Still gets oversteer here and there, but it's nowhere near as punchy as it was before. I have actually made this thing objectively better to drive than what I had done before. And I get caught on the bank. Shit. Well, I'm probably going to lose race 1 the way I see it now, but at least I am trying. If I don't win, then I can at least have a shot at trying to win one of the other 2 races. I think this is where the crazy part of the game starts to come in full swing. And I still lose. And I get drilled from behind as well. Fan-fucking-tastic. Okay, let's try again. Or at least let's move on to the next round and see if we can actually win this time. With a car that's not as punchy as it was before. Well, at least I get another 500 credit bonus for getting the slams. And Katie got most of the stats. Meanwhile, Sophia got the bulldozer stat. Alright, let's try and see if we can get payback for Farmlands 3. Get ready to crash through the local greenhouse community and pass by the beach camping area. I'm gonna do more than that. Yep, okay, I'm gonna say it now. I think I do now understand the extreme vulnerabilities you get with rear-wheel drive cars in this game. I think that much is obvious at this point. And it seems obvious to me that on the dirt, the front-wheel drive cars seem to be the better handling ones. Aside from the front-wheel drive ones. Huh, I literally just turned her over. I literally just racked her and then I turned her over. That was beautiful. I did not think I was actually gonna do it quite as hard as I did, but if it works, it works. At this point, I've been cheated and lied to by my car up to this point, but now I feel like my car is actually responding to me. And that's what I feel like is happening here. But anyway, it's me and Sophia out at the front again. Sophia won race 1, I am trying to see if I can win race 2, because then that'll basically put us even on 18 points. And then whoever finishes ahead of the other, as I set the fastest lap of the race, and now I think I have moved well clear of Sophia from what I can see. Or clear enough. although nothing is guaranteed. But right now, I actually seem to be running good. I'm having odd moments here or there where I get oversteer, but I think I might actually be in control this time. If I can manage to avoid hitting any banks from here up to the end. And Sophia has now dropped down to 6th, as it's now Katie who moves up to 2nd with Jack in 3rd. Okay. What's the lap time going to be this time? And not quite the lap record, but still fast enough for me to get the win by 6 seconds. And Sophia, in the end of that, finished 7th. She went from 2nd down to 7th. My god. You talk about just basically dropping off the face of the earth. That's basically what she did. Anyway, moving on. I win race 2. And all it took me was less than 51 minutes to actually get a win in the number 14 banger. And I also got another 400 credit bonus for 2 slams and 1 super flip. And I got the bulldozer reward. Frank set the fastest lap, and Sally got the best rewards for best wrecker and blastmaster. Anyways, those are your results, and I now have a clear 6-point cushion over Sophia. So basically what that means is I need to finish in either 4th or better to clinch. Well, 5th or better in order to clinch. But because Sophia basically dropped off the face of the earth after she got wrecked, that's basically given me a clear 6-point cushion, as we are now at Timberlands 1. Starting near the local car part shop, this circuit takes you through a few rough logging areas, detours to a small highway, and then turns back to the shop. And the best lap I set there before was a 41 flat. Excuse me. Can we actually win this time? I certainly hope we can. Anyway, let's see how we go, as I immediately give a spin to Jack. And there's the leaderboard on the left-hand side of your screen, and can I actually get over jumps this time? I can, but I also need to make sure I don't wreck myself in the process, basically. And also to make sure I do not hit those metal gates either. Thankfully I did have a 6-point cushion heading into this, because Sophia got unlucky. I did not think I was going to save it, but I somehow did. Sophia got unlucky because she fell all the way down to 7th at the end of Farmlands. That's basically what gave me that 6-point cushion. I did kind of get lucky in a way, but I still put together a pretty convincing win at the end of the day. And it shows, of course, that with the right parts you can actually win with this thing. As that is what I am proving. So Katie leads, myself second, Sally is third, as I set the fastest lap of this race so far. And went on the brakes there to make sure my car did not go over the ramp, because otherwise that would have been disastrous. I really cannot afford to hit that metal gate either. And I spin. Thankfully, however, points are one thing I don't need to worry about. I just need to make sure that I score decent points, and then this one is mine. As I force Katie into the wall, Sally is now the one behind me. I think she's the one in the truck, as she takes the shortcut. I, however, do not elect to take the shortcut, because if I do, then I will wreck again, which is what I don't want. Am I going to snatch it? Not quite. But either way, I still finish second, and I finish ahead of Sophia, which is what I needed to do. So Sally wins race 3, myself in second, and Sophia finishes P3 with Jack in P4, Jason P5, Frank P6, Katie 7th, and Ray finished in 8th. So on the first attempt, it was Katie who won the title because I was pretty much driving a monster. But I did manage to tame the car once I put on the necessary upgrades to improve it a bit. And then basically my car became drivable. And that was pretty much what helped me to win. Even though I did still make a lot of mistakes, but either way. I think the tyres probably helped. I'm also pretty sure the anti-roll bar no doubt paid off as well. I get 2 seconds and a first. And I think it's fair to say that all-important win did help me out. So either way, that is pretty cool. Plus I did finish ahead of Sophia as well, which is more or less what I wanted to do. So overall, considering the way this started, I am actually pretty happy with the result, to be perfectly honest. Okay. Alright, moving on. So, Sally wins the race, but more importantly, I win the championship. And it took me less than an hour to get there. So there we go. And I only got 1 slam in that race. Oh well, doesn't matter. I still get the overall win, so... None of the top driver stats, but doesn't really matter because I still get the overall win. by 8 points over Sophia. Jack finished in 3rd, Sally 4th as a result of her winning. Then we had Katie in 5th, Ray 6th, Jason 7th, and it was Frank who finished 8th and last. I win the Bay Area Derby Cup. And I get another 1500 credits as a result. Cool and good. I may not have won the most races, but I won where it counted and I also scored where it counted. So, next up is the Spring Smash Derby Cup, where this time we are doing 5 races. Stay tuned for that.